Good evening. According to Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber, over half of critical skills visas issued since 2020 have gone to people from Zimbabwe and India. Addressing a parliamentary question and answer session, Schreiber emphasized the department's efforts to ensure that no South Africans possess the requisite skills and qualifications before issuing visas to foreign workers. South Africa is not alone in its need for these skills and competes with other countries to attract and retain workers. Labour analyst Michael Bagraim joins us for more on this, and he joins us now via our video link. Michael, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. I mean, over 5,000, well, almost 5,000 visas are being issued there to foreign nationals. What is your thoughts on this?
Well, I actually think it's a good thing, and the reality is that South Africa needs to attract these skills. For many years now, many of our skilled workers and people who have been trained in South Africa have been soaked up by other countries, with people going to seek greater fortune, more money, better working conditions. It's about time that we hit back and we brought maybe some of our skilled people home again. But more importantly, we must attract international skills to South Africa. It does an enormous amount of good to our economy. It brings in not only the skills and the development, but it brings in training. And these people also come here and spend a lot of money. So we're seeing it good from all sides. And I'm hoping that Dr. Leon Schreiber, the Minister of Home Affairs, actually gets us together quickly so that we can, as a business community, employ the best in the world. And hopefully we can add conditions to it. I would be appealing for conditions such as for every skilled person that you bring in, they must give a guarantee they'll train 2 or 3 other people. And also the businesses must say that for every skilled person that we bring in, the foreigner, we'll employ maybe a dozen local workers to assist them and to learn. So it's good from every single angle. We're seeing big development. And I applaud Dr. Leon Schreiber for this. In the past, it's been so difficult to get special skilled visas. Now we need to look at it in a different light. A lot of South Africans will tell you that we see Zimbabweans working in restaurants and in trades and whatever. We're not talking about those people. We're talking about people who come in with specific skills, with South Africans who don't have those skills. Obviously, one must encourage people to employ South Africans and not the foreigners if they have the skills.
Yeah, and perhaps just talk about those skills. I mean, what are these skills which are quite critical, especially for our economy, which, 5,000 of them don't exist in South Africa?
Correct, and it's been, for instance, auditors, computer analysts, computer people. There's a whole lot of skills, training auditors, integrated development, software developers, ICT, and even nursing. Our nurses have been soaked up by the Emirates, the United Arab Emirates. They're offering them jobs. Well, we must bring in highly qualified nurses ourselves. The systems analysts are a great future for our economy. We've moved into that 4th industrial revolution. And quite frankly, if we don't bring these people in to help train our local market, we're going to have a problem in the future. For every skilled person you bring in, the business community will tell you that it could add another 10, 15 jobs to the market. And remember, these people earn big money, but they spend the money here. So it's good for us all around. And I must just tell you, I've been working with clients in various industries. And every time they're able to attract a foreigner in, it's grown their business. It's been a greater income tax boom for South Africa and also for our production in this country.
Michael, are you saying that, I'm hearing from this conversation that actually South Africa does have these critical skills, but it seems as if more South Africans have actually left the country, and hence why the country has had to import these skills?
Well, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that many people are coming out with skills and then saying they couldn't find a job, maybe because of employment equity, or they couldn't find a job because of their poor economy, and they look around the world. These people are all portable. They're all young, they're portable, they're highly educated, and they get offered a job at greater salary and better working conditions elsewhere. I wish they wouldn't leave and that we could offer them the salary here and we could offer the working conditions, but it's not always the case, and you can't force people to stay. But what we can do is that this is a beautiful country. It's sunny. It's a country where people want to live. We can put out a message out there to the rest of the world saying, either come home if you've left us to find a better future elsewhere, because the future's good here, or we attract the youth of other countries. If they can do it to us, we can do it to them.
Yeah.
And let them come here. They'd love it. We even have a system now, which Dr. Schreiber is also offering, where even if you're working for a foreign company and you're earning in dollars or pounds or euros, come and work here. Come on a work visa. You won't have to pay income tax if you're less than 6 months, but we want you to spend your dollars here. We want those pounds in our economy. And come and work here, enjoy it, rent a property, rent a car, go to restaurants, hotels, whatever you can do, and spend as much as possible in South Africa. We want your money.
Yeah, and Michael, coming back to those stats, I mean, quite at the top is the fact that, the big chunk of these critical skills that we do have in the country, most of them being from Zimbabwe and as well as the Indian country. And one would ask, are you surprised that they actually come from these two countries?
No, not at all, because I think our education system has failed our people. It's very unfortunate, but I think we've failed our people. We've had over 20 years now of this education system falling apart. So they're coming in from Zimbabwe, which is a much poorer country than ours, but they're getting better education for some reason or other. And I mean, we got to blame some of the politicians. We've got to blame the people who aren't forward thinking in our education system. I'm hoping that Minister Khwarubi in basic education is going to actually be able to turn out our youngsters who can read for meaning, because that's the future. They have to understand the reading, the writing, and then of course computer science, maths. We need those skills, and I think we've lacked in that. And look, Zimbabwe has always had a very good education system. Hopefully we can grab a lot of those educated people. And of course it's well known everywhere in the world that India's got a fantastic education system, and we must make our country look attractive for them. Let the Indians come here with their skills, with their money, and let them spend here.
Yeah, and Michael, maybe let's, flip the conversation a bit. It's something that you touched on a bit earlier on. And, this has been doing the rounds in terms of, headlines. And it is the issue around more Zimbabweans being employed in a number of restaurants. And we've seen that trending over the past a couple of days. What is your thoughts on what, has been taking place in the country, where we have been seeing the immigration services actually going out to target some of these restaurants to make them comply with the law? What is your thoughts on what is taking place in South Africa with a very high unemployment rate, and at the same time with some not having the correct documentation to carry out these jobs in these restaurants?
Well, I support our inspectors. I wish we had more inspectors. I wish they were better resourced, better skilled, and that they could go out there, because that's different to what we've been talking about up until now. This is exploitation of foreigners, and also at the end of the day, unfortunately, we could have had locals in those jobs. And so I don't want to fuel xenophobia, because that's the worst thing on earth. But what I do want to say is that for any employer who goes and employs someone because they can exploit someone, that's a travesty of justice. It's criminal. They should be prosecuted. Not so much would you prosecute the individual who's desperate to find the job, but prosecute the employer. And then at the same time, we're going to have to export our best people, but we're bringing in people to take the jobs of those who are unskilled. That's really not fair. It's not right. And I'm hoping that our Department of Employment and Labour employs more inspectors so that we can not only look at the restaurant industry. Yes, of late we've seen the restaurant industry being targeted. It's probably because people are exploiting, and we've read that horrible story where a restaurant was employing people, not paying them the minimum wage, not giving them letters of appointment. It was a real bad exercise, and I'm hoping that we have prosecutions, that people don't get away with it. because we tend to blame the worker, but it's not the worker, it's the employer in these circumstances. And I would strongly support our department coming in with an iron fist in those circumstances, because we've got South Africans that can do the job, keen to do the job. Let's have it.
All right, Michael, thank you so much for your thoughts on this conversation. That is Michael Bagraim, Labour analyst, giving us his insight there when it comes to those critical skills visas. Also touching on some of the latest developments coming out from the Labour Department.